In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Aspire Gotek Nano. Welcome back to Vampire Vape, my name's Andrew, and yes, I'm going to show you exactly how to use this little nano device today, which I'm a big fan of the colorway. Let's go down and take a look. So you can see the 80s, 90s inspired sort of shell suit slash stagecoach looking design just here, which I really dig. I like it a lot. There's a lot of colors going on with this kind of splashy, like painterly looking design just there. It's very cool. It's a lightweight device. It's a solid plastic device, which I don't dislike. It feels like it would take a drop quite well, to be perfectly honest. We've got a lanyard port at the top just there. It does not come with one. It only comes with a USB A to C cable, which is very small. On the base just here, we've got a button. We've got a USB-C and an airflow as well, so I can show you how to do that now. So you just literally get your nail and move it. Now, one thing I really like about this airflow is that it's seriously stiff, so wherever you find your preference, it is going to stay there, and because it's on the bottom, it's less likely to get moved because this section is recessed, so you know, you can set it and forget it essentially. We've got that USB-C, we've got the button as well, and then we've got the pod. So let's start with the pod and I'll show you how to use this. So let me show you how to set up the pod for the first time. So once you get the pod out like so, you will need some liquid. So I've actually got Vampire Vape's pistachio milkshake, which I'm extremely excited to try. It is in a 6 milligram free base and it is a 60-40 in favor of PG. So it's a nice thin liquid, which we'll see how it does in this because this is actually a 0.6 ohm pod. So you could totally restricted direct to lung this, but I'm gonna try and mouth to lung it. So let's see how that goes. So the pod is as such, right? What we need to do is find the very obvious orange fill port window, which again, I'm a big fan of. The black ones are incredibly difficult to see and kind of frustrating. So nice big orange one just there. Does it spin? Yeah, it spins out of the way, which is cool. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna hold it at an angle, put my juice in there and fill it up. So I'm gonna fill it all the way up. I recommend that you do too. And that's going to make sure that it's going to saturate the cotton inside the coil. So once you fill this up, you want to make sure you leave this for a good 5 minutes because that will then let the wicking material around the coil fully saturate. If you just filled it up and vaped on it, you're going to burn it out. So you want to leave it for 5 minutes to saturate and then you can vape on it. The next time you fill it up, you don't need to wait because it's already pre-saturated. You only need to do this once every time you get a new pod system, right? Well, a new pod like this, yeah? So fill it up, leave it 5 minutes, and that's it. Like that is literally it. But obviously once this is done with, you will need to dispose of this and then buy a new one. So that really depends on how often you're vaping it, what type of liquid you're using as well, and what kind of pod you're using as to how much power is going through the coil. So I can't really give you an estimate. I would say anywhere between sort of 3 and 10 days. It really is hard to say because everyone's different. That is how you fill up and prime and prep the pod system. Let me show you the device. So now we are moving over to the device and it's a pretty easy one to use, which is really good. So when you've got that pod, you just drop it in. Now it only goes in one way, I believe. Oh no, it actually seems to go in either way. I'm surprised by that. I thought that it was a one way only, but no, it seems like it's going to connect either way. Now, with this device, you do need to press the button on the base 5 times to turn it on. There's a screen on the front, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did that too slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And now you can see that we've got 100% battery, and that's it. It's just a charging indicator. Let's see if I pull this out, if it changes. Nope. Spin it round. Nope. So no indication of whether or not it's inserted correctly. We will find that out when we vape it. I believe it's intentional that you can use it either way. The contact ports are specifically like in the middle. So it, to me, seems like it doesn't matter which way round you put it in, right? So yeah, it just is what it is. But it's just whether or not, oh, that actually turned on the light. Let's give it a second and see if this light turns out for a moment, and then I'll drop it in the other way. Yeah, it still turns on, so there we go, so I was correct. You can spin this round, it doesn't matter which way round you pop it in. I actually think that's a good feature, because it's kind of frustrating if you pop this in and it still sat in but it didn't connect. That would be annoying, but you know, it's just, all it comes down to is whether or not you want the orange bit showing or not. That's literally it. You can kind of see the e-liquid in here, but it is a like black, sort of dark tinted window, so kind of difficult to see, but there we go. So It's 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. Then you've got that airflow, which again is all down to your own personal preference. Do you want it wide open? Do you want it closed off? That's pretty much it. With charging then, let's talk about charging. You want to probably leave this laying down because you're not going to be able to charge it stood up, are you? But what I'd recommend is that you take the pod out and leave it upright. And that is because if you leave the pod on its side too much, the pressure is going to be on one side. It's going to oversaturate the coil, become slurpy and horrible. It's kind of difficult to recover from. So what you want to do is keep it stood upright so that there's even amount of pressure over the coil, and that will keep the longevity of the coil better. So take it out, stand it up whilst you're charging the device. Once it's charged, pop it back in and you're good to go. Equally, when you're using the device, keep it upright at all times. It stands up really nicely, which is good. So keep it upright on the table, in your pocket, in your car, in your purse, in your bag, wherever it is, keep it upright because that's just good practice with this kind of design. And there we have it. That's exactly how you use the Aspire Gotek Nano. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. My name's Andrew. This is Vampire Vape. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.